top of the hour, and welcome to the Fox 11 News on at 11 p.m. tonight. During the week, this is when we say good night, L.A., but it's not a very good night in L.A. I'm Alex Michelson, along with Susan Hirasuna. And if you were just watching our interview with Governor Newsom, a couple pieces of news that came out of that. One, this idea that there's going to be a lawsuit announced tomorrow against the Trump administration fighting back on this idea of the National Guard. Another piece of news was news about his conversation with Donald Trump a couple nights ago. He had not talked about that. We had no details on that. President Trump today said that he had warned Governor Newsom, if you don't get things under control, I'm going to send in troops. Governor Newsom says that is a stone-cold lie, that never happened, and that the president is essentially making up a conversation that wasn't real. And I was struck, Susan, especially having talked to him about the wildfire relief, and when he tried to be more conciliatory to President Trump, and he gave him a lot of credit on that, how the governor was really going after the president there.
It felt as if the filter was off. There was something about his body language as well that I had not seen before. Now, perhaps you've had longer conversations with him, perhaps you have, but I've not seen where it feels as if the mask of diplomacy or what have you slipped. And he had a lot of body language that suggested he was truly angry and irritated that the President lied about the fact that he was given some kind of a warning, and that we're in this place right now where the governor says that this threatens the state's sovereignty. Yeah, and the governor not taking a whole lot of responsibility himself for it, which is, as you see, typical for a lot of politicians. But interesting to hear his perspective. We appreciate that. We want to get back to our reporter, Matthew Seedorf, who is on the ground in downtown Los Angeles. Matthew, what's happening now?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, LASD has left. LAPD has since moved in large numbers right outside of City Hall. The protesters are still facing First Street this direction, and the standoff, you could say, continues. You can see flame in the street. Some of those agitators are standing behind A-frames, and this has been going on now for several hours, and it has no reason to believe it could end anytime soon. It seems like there's no real plan. There's so many sirens going off around the area right now. You see them possibly going the other direction behind us, but yeah, just kind of a chaotic scene, but also one that's been going on for a while, where there's bursts of action. There's a firework that just was thrown up in the air, and then moments where it appears like it's calming down, and then it'll kick back up again.
Yeah. Matthew, let me ask you something. It sounded as if there was some kind of public announcement. Is that true, or is it one of the agitators with a bullhorn?
No, there's an agitator with a megaphone on the other side of the street. We've been seeing police go in every direction right now, so unclear what's going on. But yeah, there's an agitator with a megaphone, kind of near where someone's launching those fireworks. They've been launching them every minute or so over there. They've been really just posted up on that side of the intersection for some time now.
And LAPD not answering with flashbangs or tear gas. They're just letting them perhaps die out, like the energy, like burn out the energy, and then perhaps move on.
Yeah, LAPD really has not moved so far. I'm trying to see what we can see on the other end of the street, but since LAPD has got here, they've just been holding the line that the sheriff's deputies were at. I'm going to look here. Looks like we can see someone on a motorcycle, bikes. You can see the crowds, and it looks like LAPD on the other end of the other intersection beyond First Street, setting up another skirmish line between that street and where we are at City Hall.
That could be an attempt to perhaps cut off access on both ends of that street, and then push them eventually either north or south away from the City Hall area, the Civic Center.
Yeah, it looks like that would be 2nd Street, where the police are on right now. and those protesters in between where we are with police, and then police over there on 2nd Street.
Right. Somehow they've managed to keep that fire ablaze, which I find sort of interesting because it's going to need fuel.
So, I mean, what have you noticed that there's a thinning out, that as the later it gets, people are sort of over this and they're going home, or is everybody still kind of doing their thing?
I think it's thinning out, but it's pretty slow. I get the sense that people don't really know what to do right now. They feel like they need to be doing something, and they're just kind of wandering and looking for whatever that something is to do. Right now, some of them, looking over here at police, shooting off fireworks. We've heard reports of businesses being broken into in downtown. We see the fire there. But yeah, it maybe is thinning out a little bit, but a lot of wandering taking place.
Yeah.